How's it going, guys? This is Dusk Snow, and I'm joined with Apple, like most of my videos. And this one, the gameplay isn't really the main focus of this particular segment. Oh, this particular video. This is going to be kind of like a podcast type thing with some gameplay.
Isn't
And
not to detract
what?
from your statement, but isn't that what all gameplay videos are?
I mean, I suppose you are
A
right, but
podcast with some gameplay?
I suppose you are correct, but aside from that, this one is going to be nothing to do. Oh, there's going to be a little bit stuff to do with the game, but this is going to have nothing really to do about Minecraft. But 100% of everything else going on everywhere, basically, but mostly focused in the United States with all of the protests and the rioting and all of that. I can't think of the word.
Protest?
No, I already said protest. I can't think of the
Poli-
particular word that I'm thinking of
Police brutality?
because no.
Bigotry? Racism?
Yes, well, all of that basically. But first, let me get Apple into the game so we're at least doing something
Wait,
to
just jump
lose our
into my
trains of
game.
thought. Too late.
Just jump in. Nope. Because my
I'm
game
already in
doesn't
the
matter. I'm in a world.
time. I'm coming to hop in. But anyway, guys. Yeah, I just basically want to put my opinion out there, and if Apple wants to also put his opinion out there of everything that's going on right now with everything. I'm loading in.
I have
Are
no
you near
idea how
where
to...
spawn is?
Um,
Yes, you are.
if everybody spawns in the same spot, then yes.
I see you like your sand castle that you're making. Alright, so, to start off with everything, I was not aware of the situation
Nope.
until Apple enlightened me of the whole situation, because I tend to not watch the news, or if I see something on Facebook that's
I was just gonna
uh,
say I don't watch the news either, but I am on Facebook constantly.
well, I tend to not look at stuff on Facebook if it's negative, and
Jesus, you scared me. I fucking forgot for some reason that you were in the game.
surprise! The death seekers have come. Alright, well anyway, now that the jump scare of Apple pooping his pants is done, uh, yeah guys, so I tend to not really watch a whole bunch of stuff, so I didn't know about the whole issue with, uh, the police brutality going on until extremely recently. It was less than a week. I can almost guarantee you it's been about less than a week since I've known about what's been going on as of recently. And I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't know anything about it until of recently. But, like I said, I try to keep away from,
Do
hate.
do you mean
I try to keep away. Do what?
do you mean like the most recent instance, or do you mean just like police brutality in general?
I mean, in general. I was. No, no,
Really?
not in general. The most
Oh, I
recent.
would say really
No,
you've never experienced like oh okay oh
no, 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 no. I got confused on what you meant. No, I've known about it for a while, like a long time, probably like back when I was a security guard, so like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years ago. Whenever it was
Ah,
not as oh, I can't really say not as bad because it was bad then too, but
I say I think it's kind of been
uh,
a non-stop continuous issue since, well,
forever since police has been a thing.
yeah, since modern idea of police has been a thing, but yeah.
All right, so but basically, the Floyd incident, I was unaware of until recently. And so, like, I wasn't paying attention to most of my social medias with it until Apple sent me. Oh, Apple mentioned something on Messenger, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" So he sent me a video, and so, like, in the past week, I have been shown just exactly what was going on as of recently, and it's definitely 100% not okay with how that particular officer, which I don't know his name, I didn't care to look it up, so I do
Um,
apologize on my ignorance
Michael
towards that.
something. His last name is weird, but
Well,
I'm pretty sure his first name's Michael.
I gotcha. Well, he was, and everything. This whole entire video is based on my opinion, and if it upsets people, then I'm sorry that it upsets you. But I am in 100% 100% against how the police are, how they've been. Not all of them. Definitely not all of them. It just takes a few bad apples to always cause hatred towards others because of one particular incident. Well, not one, but many. Alright, I need to turn this phone down because it is going to be an issue. Because this isn't even my phone.
Oh, wow, no, I must have been thinking of something totally else. His name is Derek Chauvin. What the hell was I thinking of? Michael.
Um, I would say something, but I'm not. Because, it's kind of a part of your life. Anyway,
Oh, wait, yes. Wow, that took me
that's
way
a
too
witch.
long.
There's a witch over here. But anyway, um, keep getting off track already. This is going to be an excellent 25, 30-minute video to watch on YouTube. To me, the whole protesting is one oh shit, that's a creeper. The whole protesting thing is 100%. 100, actually, it's like 1,000% understandable just because of the actions of that particular officer was, and other officers that does police brutality. It was 1,000% unnecessary. There was, for this particular incident, there was 3 officers holding uh, Mr. George Floyd down. There was no need for uh, the one that ended his life to be on his neck the way that he was. There was absolutely no need for it. The gentleman was not resisting at all, from what I've seen. And even if he was, in that particular 8 to 10 minute video, he was not the last little bit, or the first little bit. He was not resisting whatsoever. So it was absolutely an abuse of power. And so this goes on to the next, even touchier subject, the whole
We should abolish the
looting.
police.
No. They are necessary, but they need to do something to make it where people like that particular gentleman can't be able to be a officer. They need to tighten up their evaluations and stuff like that. Make sure that somebody's not gonna let the power of the badge go to their head, because that's absolutely uncalled for. And like, no police officer, unless it's in immediate threat of their life, should be able to just be like, oh hey, I'm going to just end this person's life. Because, like, you're a police officer, you're not the judge, you're not the jury, and you don't have the right to be the executioner for anything unless it's in absolute self-defense. Then that's, like I said, all of this is my personal opinion, and if Apple wants to chime in, it's his personal opinion. But just whenever you overstep your bounds, you make the others look bad. It's the same way with anything. Like, if you take how, like, if you were to take the mentality of, oh hey, this police officer's bad, then all police officers are bad, that would be the same thing as saying, oh hey, so, fuck, what was the analogy I was gonna use? Now it's just gone that fast. Shut up.
It's been a long day for me, so
It's been a
I
long day
don't.
for me too, and I almost got one shot by a freaking drown. I don't remember the analogy I was gonna use. Oh fuck it. So, if you were to say that one police officer's actions, or one particular individual or a group of individuals' race did something, and then you judged all of that particular group of people or race based on that one action, then that's where every issue like would stem from, because you would be adding on to the hate that is in this world, and there's definitely hate everywhere. Oh no, because I've seen the analogy on Facebook. Okay, so basically, the analogy that I've seen, and what kind of makes sense to me, is you saying that the actions of a handful of police officers, and now you're treating all police officers that way, would be the same thing as saying that any of uh, the particular individuals of, like, how Hitler, how he was a German, that would be the same thing as saying that all people from Germany are bad, which that is not the case. It was it was a group of individuals, the Nazi Party, that did all of those. Oh shit, there's the drowned again. It was all of those individuals that made that particular decision to do what they did. The same thing would be like saying, if Muslimic
Nope, you
people,
were right. Nope, you were right.
Muslim?
Yeah, Muslim or Islamic.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to say, Islamic. That would be the same thing as saying Muslim or Islamic people, like 9/11 happened. That would be the same thing as saying, oh, all of these particular people are bad because of the actions of a small group of people. So, yes, there is police brutality. That is 100% of an issue. Yes, there is a handful of police officers that are bad cops. Is all police officers bad cops? Absolutely not. There's many, many, many people that goes out and risks their lives for bettering everybody. There's a traitor nearby, unless you killed him. Now, back onto the more touchy subject with uh the whole police brutality. You you hear about it. Oh, I heard about it just recently. For the most uh recent incident, I also heard about another incident that happened here in Georgia, actually. But it didn't have anything. Oh, it kind of did have something to do with a police officer, but it was more an ex-officer or somebody that was related to the officer or something along the lines. Um, these
Are you talking about?
two
Are you
individuals.
talking about Ahmed Arbery and Heinzel?
No, it happened in Brunswick.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, God, I always get those two mixed up for some reason. Yeah, the two guys.
But
One was a former district attorney, like chased them down in their truck.
yeah, a freaking
Yeah,
mid-20s
the
kid.
preliminary trial was
Or
today. I don't.
oh,
Yeah.
that's good. I hope that they get what they deserve because I mean nobody has the right to be able to say, "Oh, hey, your life doesn't matter. We're gonna end it," for no reason, just because the particular individual was quote unquote shady. Like the dude was jogging, so like like I said, to me, I don't think fuck. I just got sniped by that fucking drowned. But I don't think it's fair for anybody to be able to just ultimately decide to end somebody's life for absolutely no reason other than hatred. And hatred is definitely something that's here and it's probably never going to go away. And um, just the simple fact of being divided by this hatred, that's probably never going to go away. Not in a million years. Just because there's always going to be somebody that is either jealous of something that another person or group of people has, or they're going to take advantage of a group of people, or just there's always going to be something that's going to cause other people to be uh, that have some sort of hatred, and it's sad, really. It's honestly extremely sad to think about it because, like, if there was little to no hate in this world, we as a human race could be so much farther along because there's just no telling of how much our capabilities of an entire species would be able to grow if we all just got along and didn't have such hatred in this world. Or at very bare minimum, and like that, there's hatred in like the United States. Like it's named the United States, not the divided states, or not the like just the way that things are right now. It's honestly feeling like that's how things are because yes, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Yes, everybody's entitled to uh, how they think and how they act, and so long as it doesn't affect others, which at this point it's affecting others with the fact that just the racism. Um, and like I am an extremely small time streamer, and I don't really have a voice, so to speak. I mean, I have a small following of people that does enjoy watching my content, which is a surprise. But aside from that, um, the bigger YouTube and the bigger streamers, some of their words and actions, in my opinion, you should probably not use a pickaxe to break gravel, because it's going to break your pickaxe. Um, but with the bigger the bigger content creators, that way I don't just have to say YouTube, Twitch, blah blah blah. They have a higher influence on people, which can help, but also can hurt a community as a whole, because if one of those content creators is like, oh hey, uh, this is how things should be, and or like if they only are looking at it on one side, there's this dude's gonna like, no, I didn't want to talk to you, dude. Shut the damn door. You got a wandering villager right in front of your door, so he's gonna be like in your way. But and like I don't have much room to talk because I mean technically I'm also doing the same thing that I'm saying. But the more people you have under you, if you have a way of thinking, or you have a way of projecting those thoughts out, like say if somebody was to say, oh hey, I hate such and such group of people, or I hate such and such group of music, and then the followers or the viewers or the content, that like the people that's there for that content, they'll start having that same view. Not all of them, but more or less the younger people, because the younger people are more uh more, they don't step back and look at the whole
Susceptible to
thing as a
crowd
whole.
mentality.
Yes, I couldn't think of the particular word. Yes, they're more susceptible, because they're like, oh hey, everybody's saying this, so that's basically what they tell you in high school anyway about peer pressure, or not high school, but school in general, about peer pressure. Except it's not exactly pressure, it's more or less, oh hey, this is not a good idea, oh hey, you're right, type deal. Or, oh hey, this group of people, and this group of, like, anyway. So, with with some of the content creators, they need to not be as aggressive with how they're trying to help with the whole situation, because there's a couple of them that I've watched, and like just me seeing how they go about the whole situation makes me kind of question watching them,
Like
at
who?
least until this whole, well, I'm not going to say any names while I'm streaming.
Oh, that dude. Yeah.
Just there's a small couple group, a small couple content creators that now I, until the whole situation is over, I'm gonna try to refrain from watching them, just because of just how they worded things, I guess. That's why I'm like tiptoeing over this whole thing, because I don't want to seem like I'm really on, like I don't want anybody to think, oh hey, this guy's this type of way, so like to me it's just the whole situation is a very complicated time bomb topic, because if you say the wrong thing and you don't mean it that way, but people take it the wrong way, then it explodes, and then you get turned into the bad guy, so to speak. So I'm definitely not gonna be like, oh hey, this and this. I'm definitely not gonna be like that. I'm just saying that personally, in my viewpoint, I feel like the police brutality is absolutely 100% not a good thing at all. There's that dude, by the way. Um, but like you could go about handling those particular situations way better. That particular gentleman, that particular officer, could have handled that situation 100% better and different. But he just didn't. So now, like, the world's like extremely divided because some people's like, oh, hey, this is how it should have been, and then some group of people are like, hey, that's not how this should have been, and it's all because of the actions of a small group of individuals that overtook that power that they had, and instead of using it for the better, they turned around and used it just because, oh, hey, I have a badge. I am over the law. Like, so, and then the whole situation with the protests and then it getting turned into riots. Like, I know that it's not all of the protesters and it's not anything like that, but with the whole protesting, and you don't have to keep going back for the water, dude. You can just scoop up some water from like right here because it's an infinite water source on its own.
Oh.
But the going about and like, you have to have two set down. Not like that, but yeah, like that. But the whole like burning down y'all's towns and cities and stuff to that's not cool because you don't you don't know those individuals that has spent the time, the energy, the effort, all of that on making their business. Like that could, especially the local businesses or the local business owners anyway. Like that could be their life savings, and you just because of the rioters, and I'm not saying that all of them are to blame because there's, like I was talking about with the big content creators, there's people that are what was the word?
Susceptible?
Susceptible. There's a lot of people that are susceptible because they see one person or a small group of people or even a large group of people partaking in an activity and then they just hop on. Like, so like not. I'm not saying that the riots are good because they're definitely not. But I mean, I don't know exactly how to say it better than just
I don't know, I have a very
don't.
unpopular opinion, apparently.
Well, it's
Apparently, everybody gets upset when you're like, no, totally, you should burn more things.
well, on it depends on exactly what you're going on about because to me, I feel
I'm,
like
I
if you're
mean,
burning down your
I mean, my thing is that I agree that private property should be left alone to the best of its ability. I mean, you're talking about a riot, you know, it, not exactly or a highly organized event, you know. So the thing about private property is, though, especially businesses, coming from the fact that I own my own, the majority of like people, it varies from state to state, but a lot of states require you to have some type of insurance on your business. And, I don't know anything about Minnesota, but if they're anything like here, you have to have some type of liability insurance to operate, or else you can't operate. Um, these things. You just destroyed my wall, you asshole.
I didn't destroy it. I was fixing it because there was a piece of gravel on it. It was bothering me.
Huh. Um, you know, so let's say I am just hanging out. I closed my store because I was worried about all this stuff, and somebody happens to walk past and burn it down. You know, the business insurance will compensate me and the workers that I have while they're displaced. I mean, relying on insurance in that manner isn't exactly an ideal situation, nor should it have to be this way, but my opinion of rioting is that I understand why it is felt to be necessary by anybody who is using the vandalism in favor of their argument, not just somebody who's going out there to take advantage of a situation so that they can basically destroy things. Because there are a few entities out there that are doing that and just taking advantage of the hostility and everything right now. Now, I support the protesting, I support the riots, because out of all of the times this has happened, which this has been an ongoing problem since, well, a ridiculously long time, but I didn't really become that aware of it until, like, my graduating year of high school, because this happened actually a lot that year. Um,
Uh-huh.
Every time this occurs, there's always protesting, and the vast majority of it has been peaceful throughout the time. So, whenever you have whenever you do something that doesn't get you results, what do? You do something else, right? You either escalate or you try something you haven't tried already, etc. Well, if you go on long enough without getting results or having your issue resolved, I feel like the natural order of things is to escalate your attempts at resolving the situation. And
Uh-huh.
so I can see how, we went from peaceful, non-organized protesting, like, all the celebrities doing their privatized things, Kaepernick's kneeling during the games, which spurred a whole bunch of other athletes to kneel during national anthem. Um, but whenever that type of message is ignored for so long, you know, where do you go from there? Like, there has to be some kind of escalation to try to get to the important goal, or the what you are finding important at the time. In that case, stopping police brutality, particularly towards people of color.
Uh-huh.
And just because there has been no significant results and I graduated in 2010, so at the very least, the last decade of this occurring, there's been no significant change passed in legislation. No, well, I'm sorry, that's not entirely true. They made it mandatory in a lot of places for police to wear body cameras. That is one thing that has happened in the last decade that's changed majorly. But that hasn't prevented any of this stuff. In fact, all it seems to have done is notify us that it happens, and we all become aware of it, we all get even angrier about it, and then nothing
What
still.
the fuck?
You got
My
ghosts,
can just
bro?
fell. I mean, I guess. I'm sitting here, I got a soda can on the end of the table and it just fell. Sorry though.
I don't.
Continue what you were saying.
Um, I don't remember what the last thing was I said now.
You was talking about with the whole police brutality.
No, I know. I just don't remember what the last. I don't remember what sentence I was on. That's what I was saying.
You were like reading this off of something or something? Is that what you're saying? Just get a prompt next to you? Just
No, mentally, I don't know what the hell the last thing was I said, so I can't continue with what I was saying because I don't remember what the last thing was I said. Was what I was trying to get at. Um. Nope, I lost it. All right.
it's okay. I lose
You'll
my
have to
train of thought
excuse
all the
me.
time.
I've had to drink a lot more lately. I have been having a really hard time sleeping the last 2 or 3 nights.
It's okay. Everybody forgives you. But yeah, guys, I know that we did barely even touch the surface of the particular situation going on, but it is a very rocky, thin-iced subject to talk about without really upsetting one or the other group of people involved, and I don't really want to upset many people, but also at the same time, I my to just the basically long story short type thing to me, and in my opinion, like Apple said, the some of the riots are understandable, and I see where he's coming from with that. It is 100% understandable if you have no results, but to an extent. Like burning down 99% of your city, to me, I don't think that's cool. Even if businesses and stuff, because even if those businesses and stuff, oh, excuse me, even if those businesses have insurance and stuff, it's still gonna cost everybody money to have all of those things replaced. Either A, you're gonna have to go to another business, and who knows how far away that business could be, because it could be something as simple as like a McDonald's or something. Okay, now you have to go get food from somewhere else. And that somewhere else could be right across the street, or if the riots were bad enough, you have to go to like the next town over, and that's going to cost everybody money because now you're going to have to drive all the way away to get food versus like just not having all of those businesses
What?
burnt down.
Can I ask what you're doing?
I'm fixing your stupid thing. Trying to, anyway. So, that's my opinion with that particular thing. Hey, there's another wandering villager. As of my views with the police brutality, I 100% disagree with how things are going right now. Like, with the whole situation in general. Like, there was no need for that excessive force that they have been protruding on just everybody. Like there's absolutely no need for that amount of force. Oh, I died. The gentleman, just like 99% of the time that is police brutality, it's against unarmed people. Like, you shouldn't have to pull out your gun if somebody's unarmed and not coming towards you, or you shouldn't have to use excessive force if there's no threat. Like, if somebody's just... One of the videos that I seen around the time that they were protesting last time, like, just everybody in general were protesting last time, there was this black gentleman who was at his own neighborhood cleaning up his yard. Oh, not his yard, but he was cleaning the area, and the police, like, jumped all over him because, like, just absolutely no reason. I do remember seeing that, and like, there's a time and a place to use more force than necessary. Like, if there's like a drug bust or something and everybody in the building is armed, like, at that point, having excessive force but not really using excessive force unless, like, necessary, I can see where that particular issue would come from. But if it's just like some dude in his yard or some dude in his apartment complex just minding his own business, not being a threat to anybody, and then you come out of nowhere just like, oh, I just see your hands, and like, you just go off because of this dude, this black dude in his own neighborhood, regardless of how much percentage of any other type of race person that lives there. Like, it could be a 99% white community, and then this one black guy could live there. And just, this goes back onto what I was saying earlier about just the hatred in general. Like, especially here, because it's the South, and like, there's a lot of opinions, and most of them aren't good.
Opinions, yes,
Yes.
that's what we'll call that. I think
Yeah.
hate speech is more appropriate, but opinions, sure.
Well, not all of them is hate. All of them are hate, but oh, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at opinions. There's a whole bunch of opinions. What are you doing? That's not even part of your wall. But there's a lot of people that express their opinions and their own thoughts. You're trying to suffocate me, you dick.
No, I'm trying to
So that.
make it.
So, like, I've been around a lot of hate speech a majority of my life, and that hasn't ever influenced my own opinion on any particular race. I'm not going to go into too much more detail other than that I've been around it, because I don't want those that I've been around that has those particular thoughts be judged based on their thoughts, because I mean, they have their own fights ahead of them with how they think about just different people in general, so they can handle that without me just busting them out. I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry, but it's not how I do things. I'm not gonna bust out anybody over their own opinions. It's their own opinions, and they are entitled to them. But regardless if I agree with them or not, and there's a handful of things that I don't agree on, and I try not to let that. I try not to let that particular influence of how somebody was raised, like, affect me. Like, it's different if they overly express themselves or overly do things. Like, if somebody was, for example, if you were raised in the South and you think it's okay to be extremely hostile towards any black person or Actually, not even that. Any quote-unquote minority group. Because there's a lot of hate just in general here in the South. Like, against black people, against gay people, against, just basically everybody that's not Southern, basically. Um, Actually, that wouldn't even be the case. Anybody, I hate to say it, but pretty much anybody that isn't white is basically how the mentality of a majority of the people that, not a majority, but a lot of people that I've been around have that mentality, and it's really really sad. And some of them I am friends with, and some of them I'm not particularly close to. Because, like I said, they were raised that way. That's how they think, and that's as long as it's not going out of their way to be like, oh hey, like every day they walk up to you, hey, I hate such and such because whatever reason. Like, okay, I don't care. Don't involve me in it. Like, keep me away from your negativeness. But just the hate in general just needs to stop. White people versus black people. Um, Police brutality. Um, which that also kind of stems towards white versus black, but just all the if everybody was to get along, we could be so much farther along. Like I said earlier, so much further along with just everything, because everyone's divided, and it's sad to see. Because, like, just think of different places, like just different like countries and stuff. You see how in those other countries, some countries are way past us with technology and stuff, and then there's other countries that's way behind us. But you see, and you see less hatred in other countries besides here, which a place being called the United anything, you would think that everybody would be able to get along without having any particular issues, which, as y'all see, that's not the case. Like, right now there's basically we've been divided by just everything in general, and it's a whole nother topic that I'm not going to get into because it's more or less like a conspiracy thing versus anything. So that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But like we shouldn't be, as a planet and as like just as a country, we shouldn't be divided like how we are, just with all of the hate that's out there. Everybody just needs to do their best to be able to exterminate the hate without causing more. Because, like, it's just getting worse and worse and worse at this point. Because, like, just, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave it at that because, like, my brain is mixing up the words that I want to say the way I want to say them. But it's just, all in all, it's just everybody needs to just try not to live in the past with some instances, and try to like just help make everywhere better. Don't just try to focus on one place or one person. Just try to better everybody, because at the end of the day, you can be white, you can be black, you can be Native American, you can be Asian, you can be any race, at the end of the day, you're still part of the human race, and so like you're no better than anybody else. It don't matter if you're born in a rich family or born in a poor family, or you could be born in a third world country, or you could be born in a first world country. It's just everybody is born the same way. Everybody is eventually going to not be around anymore. And just based on where you live, base is like a high percentage of how long you're going to be around, because the survivability of one country versus another country varies on just things. So just like everybody should just get along is the message at the end of the day. Like, yes, this group of people may have done this to you, or yes, this person may have done something to you, and then you are now mad at this particular person or this particular group of people, but just because you're mad at that small group of people or person or just an individual, you shouldn't take that and aim it towards everyone, because that's just how more and more and more hate comes about. That's basically what I wanted to say. I just don't really know how I didn't know how to word it, so just long story short, just we need to figure out a way for everybody to be able to get together, get along with one another without issues.
The hell are these?
That's your magic sticks that you can stab into the ground. But anyway, guys, this particular video is way longer than I anticipated. It's almost twice as long as I wanted it to be. So I'll go ahead and leave it here, guys. I hate that this is one of the first videos going up after me coming back to YouTube. And I just hope that nobody the way that I said what I said the wrong way, or turns it around on me and makes it look like I'm saying it the wrong way, because I'm definitely not meaning any of this in any really negative way. But I know that me mixing up words and just having a jumbled up mess of sentences probably doesn't help. But I'll let everybody decide on how they react to my video, how they want to. But anyway, guys, I'll see y'all in my next video that I post on YouTube. And for everybody that's here for my stream, I'll be back up in just a couple minutes. Alrighty, guys. Later.